relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. S.J. Pour here in the brewery at Little Face Brewing. I'm going to pour me one of my Marvel Blend Ale. We'll call it. It doesn't have the IBUs really to be considered a IPA. And it's kind of red, so I don't want to call it a pale ale because it's not really a pale ale either. Ugh. So we're just going to call it an ale. Chair here a little bit. Get comfortable. Oh boy. It's Wednesday. It is absolutely gorgeous here in Little Face Brewing, or in South Central Pennsylvania. And Little Face Brewing, the backyard is just teeming with beauty and brightness, green, and oh, it's just a great time to be alive right now. It absolutely is. So earlier in the week, I did an impromptu video showing around my hops, so you can go back and check that out. The hops, the new set that I have growing down back here, down towards the garden bed, ones on the side of the house that have been established for years, and the ones out front. One of the amazing things is I've got cones already, that are over an inch big. They are really well. Okay, so as far as the hops go, when B cut those early shoots off and pickled them, not only did they taste good, and I've said this before, but I think that right there warranted those in the front to grow like crazy. They are so hardy. It's incredible. It really is. They are so hardy. The binds are thick, and are just robust. So we're looking forward to a good harvest this year, and I do intend to harvest them. What I may end up doing this year is I'm going to harvest them over time. I'm not going to try and do it all at one time because that's usually where I kind of fail, because it's a lot. I mean, when you have this many hops, it's a bunch. It's a job at that point. But what's going to make that job a little bit better is, wow. I tell you what. All right, I just about went down another topic. We'll touch on what just popped into my head here after a bit. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to have a Harvest Ale Club Brew Day of our local club, Southern County Amateur Brewer Society. So we're going to be going Picking the Scabs Harvest Ale. How do you like that? So this will be a fresh picked harvest ale. We got to work out the grist on it yet, but what I'd like to do is probably something along the lines of Sierra Nevada Celebration. That's one of my favorite ales. Bird just flew in underneath the steps over there. Interesting. Hopefully they're not putting a nest in, because I'm going to have to chase them out if they are. Do not put a nest in over there. Probably already too late. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan there. Would be to put on do up a club brew day. The part that we haven't quite figured out yet is when we're going to do that brew day, because we want to factor in harvest. And do we want to do a straight from the vine to the kettle? Or do we want to give ourselves maybe a couple days of dry time to get rid of some of... See, there's a thing. Okay, so when you're doing a harvest ale, or you're doing a fresh hop ale, you sometimes get from the I don't know the right terminology for it, but in the hop you get the what makes it green, the leafy, the moisture that's in that hop will sometimes give you a bit of a cucumber or vegetative flavor profile, and I'm not so much a fan of that. So if we give them a couple days to dry, we can eliminate some of that, or just knock it down a touch and um, allow more of the upulin to be the flavor profile more so than the leaf of the hop. So I'd be curious to your opinion on that. If you think that's a good idea, I think it's a dumb idea, or what's your thoughts on fresh hop or harvest ales? Because in my opinion, it can still be a harvest ale if it's got a couple days of drying time on it. It's a harvest. It's this year's harvest. It's going to be a fresh hop. It just might have a week, worth of drying time, or a couple days worth of drying time. So we'll have to work those details out. And what would be really cool would be to, for the club brew, either get us together and have us all on our systems, kind of at the same time, those that can carry their systems or whatever. I can carry my propane system, it's no problem, but I've got the electric system back here. So if by chance we do it here, I'll probably brew on that, and I can loan that system out to somebody. Or if we gather somewhere and throw all the hops into a bucket, big bucket, really big bucket, and stir that bad boy up, and then just divvy it out, and then that's the hops you use for your beer. You take them back and you brew that day. We can do something like that. So we're really working out the details on how we want to move forward with that brew day. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. The other thing we're going to do with the club is, this is our local club, is we're going to do a swap meet. Our sister club down in Virginia, Seven Cities, they actually do, I think they do it annually, they do it every year, a swap meet. And what that does is that allows folks like myself and other homebrewers who have gathered a lot of equipment over the years. Now I have more than most because I had a homebrew supply store, and I have a lot of that stuff left. But we want to do a swap meet so that maybe we can bring some more folks into the club, into the hobby, the wonderful hobby of brewing your own beer. Teach them, do a brew day. And maybe do it on site somewhere. Do it at a brewery or a beer store or something. Have a swap meet. We get rid of some equipment. Some people get equipment to brew. Maybe they're the first time brewers. Maybe they're curious about it and they want to know. And do it cheap. It ain't about making money. It's about helping other home brewers out and downsizing if you're one of those folks like me that have been a brew hoarder. Yes, I'm a brew hoarder. I've kind of downsized quite a bit out here. What I have out here is really all I need other than my grains. This is the stuff that I've been using. And I actually still have stuff out here that I probably don't necessarily need. So the one thing I would like, I love the Fur Monsters. They're my fermenter of choice. I have them right up there on the shelf. And buckets. I love buckets. I'll go to Carboys, for secondary. I'd like to eventually go to all brew buckets, stainless steel. That's my goal. So, that's in the future. I get this bad boy nailed down to where I know exactly what I'm doing, that I don't need to have that diagram on the whiteboard every time I brew. So I go, what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? Get it to come natural to me, just like it does brewing on the cube out there. So anyways, those are some things that we're doing locally. with the club and what I got growing around here and what I got brewing around here. I will be putting a brew together this weekend because I put that Marvel blend on here. I've got the blonde ales in there. I want to probably maybe do 2 brews this weekend to get some more different stuff, because what's gonna happen with me is the way I drink beer, I'm gonna end up with multiple kegs open at one time, so I need to have multiple ready to go on, because I pull off of each tap all the time, so I'm like bringing all of my kegs down at the same time. That's how I roll. So anyways, I have ran on long enough. We are way over 10 minutes. I wanted to stop in and make this a quick one, turned into a long one. But that happens sometimes when I get chatty. And I'm in my happy place. I'm sitting in my brewery. So, nanner, nanner, nanner. Anyways, this is SJ Pour in Little Face Brewing, enjoying the fruits of my labor. You know why? Because I brew beer. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I brew wonderful beer. Pat yourself on the back. Cheers, everybody. Get out and enjoy. Cheers.